All right. All right, finally got the camera set up here. Let's get the locomotive fired up. Let me turn down the TV in the other room. Hey, August, what's going on? Chilling on a Sunday night. Well, right now we're running some trains. Alright, so what I got out tonight is the Via switcher here. This one has better KD couplers, so we shouldn't have too much of an issue. No, it's Via, VIA. It's it was up in somewhere in Canada. Alright, let's get hang on here. Alright, I think we're all set up here. Alright, so what we're going to do tonight is the other day when I did my layout tour video, I took all the cars off the layout. So what we're going to do today is we're going to respot all the cars for future switching videos. N scale. I'd like to get into N scale, but I want to finish this layout first. Alright, so first industry up is the lumber yard. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Let me try and get a better zoom in view. Yeah, I think we all be running everything if we hit the lotto. It's okay. It's okay. My dog's getting nervous because we have these cars, these kids who think backfiring their cars is cool. I don't see the appeal in it. But we've had a huge in my area. We've had a huge influx of kids souping up these cars, and they shoot out this stupid backfire noise, and that's all you hear all night. That and the street bikes. The biggest problem in my area is they shut down they closed the racetrack. There's no more. Hang on one second. There's nowhere for these guys to go and race. So, apparently they do it on the highway here. It's quiet and it's quiet out there. Oops. All right, so we're gonna get in front of these cars here. Hello, John. Yeah, we have a lot of problems with the street bikes over here, racing up and down the highway. Somebody told me the other day they were racing on the wrong side of the road. Hello. All right. Let's not start with the coupler issues. Harold says your layout is awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Harold. I try my best. John says, quit. Sorry. Hang on. I'm trying to read everything as it pops up. All right. Good day from Ozzy. Really neat layout. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and get this cut of lumber cars. All right there looks pretty good. The steel road sounds awfully familiar. I'm almost 100% certain I'm subbed to your channel. All right, so let's scoot up here a little bit. Get these two spotted. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. Oh, yes! You know what? I think I heard about you from another channel, and I went over and checked yours out, like, right after that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little snack. All right, so we got the lumberyard set up over here. I got some more cars for the scrapyard we're gonna pick up. Freddie the Train says hi. Hello. Welcome. Oh, August, I missed your thing there. Do I have a favorite freight railcar type to move around? Um, Actually, this entire layout, because I built it around the cars that I want to see moved. I really enjoy high cube box cars, gondolas, tank cars, reefers. So let me just make sure that switch is lined up there. All right. So I built the layout in mind with me seeing everything that I wanted to have on the layout. It's another reason why I didn't go with a prototype. A lot of guys like to model like a real section of railroad. I didn't want to be stuck with something that I wasn't going to have fun with. So that's another reason why I went proto freelance. Proto, this is under Union Pacific jurisdiction, and freelance being Cascade is a fictional city. Yes, the steel road. Everything on this layout, besides a few things, is scratch built. So like this loading platform here, if you check out my layout tour, I show the prototype photo that inspired this build. It's basically a one-to-one. I definitely agree with that. Fictional railroads are just as good. It gives me more creative freedom. So, Steel Road, the only thing that's actually a kit on this layout are these tanks, this fencing, and these unloading racks or platforms. Those are the only three things that are actually not scratch built on the layout. Everything else is handmade, besides vehicles. All right, so let's get our switches lined up here. I also want to give a big thanks to you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you, Steel Road. I'm definitely excited to see the progress you make on your layout. All right, Steel Road. Have a good one. And as always, guys, if you want to see something else run on the layout, just let me know. We could do steam. We could do other locomotives. I got that two ST40s. I got the GP39. So if you guys want to see something else, just let me know. That Rio Grande switcher works. These two switchers are actually brand new. I've only had them for a couple weeks now. August, I'm gonna add you as a moderator. And August, I'm very happy that you picked up on that hidden message in my last video. Well, probably not a lot of people know what it is. I'm thoroughly enjoying their new album. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, if you ever have questions, please ask. Even if I don't know the answer for you, I might be able to push you in the right direction. All right, so what I think we're going to do next is we're going to set up Frontier Logistics. I'm just going to get some cars set up here. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up that kind of cars. Montana Northern Railroad. Thank you. Thank you very much. I try my best. Oh, and I have to show you guys something cool. Buddy of mine runs a t-shirt shop called Fat Caboose Depot, and I had my logo put on a shirt. Let me find it real quick. Let me move the camera so I can show you. Turned out pretty good. Now I also have a sweatshirt that my wife had made for me. That was a birthday present from my wife, I think about a year ago. All right. Yeah, so I designed the logo for the layout around the color schemes of the Union Pacific locomotives. Yeah, I really wanted the it to pop. So I started with the gray border, which is the top of the Union Pacific locomotives, and then they have the red stripe, and then the yellow body, and then the red lettering. So I'll grab a good example real quick. So I tried my best to match up the color schemes. Thank you. Although I wouldn't per se that they're technically modules, although you could categorize them as that. Um, I built each section as its own independent 6-foot section, and then right here is another independent 2 feet by 2 feet. Although maybe you would consider that a module. But I built it in mind that if I ever had to take it down or move it, it wouldn't be a nightmare. I mean, I could do t-shirts, mugs, and everything, but I would have to partner with YouTube. I would also need to see if people are interested in that. Yeah, like right now as it sits, it's just sitting on L beams or L brackets mounted to the wall, and then I have stabilizer arms that go all the way down from each side to the floor, so that you know I'll pull away a little bit. You could pull on it, and it's not going to go anywhere. And right here is one seam, and then it runs all the way back. And then right here's the other seam, and it runs all the way back. And so these 3 sections break down into their own independent section. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the late Lehigh Valley. I'll have to look into that. Basically, I got this and the Rio Grande SW that I have because they were 50% off with DCC sound. So I pretty much got 2 for the price of 1. And you can't beat that kind of deal. Alright, so what are we gonna do next? Let's do outbound for Pratt Industries. That takes 2 high cubes. August, if you go on Lombard Hobbies right now, I think the deal is still on, as well as Yankee Dabbler still has the Via switchers for 50% off. They have they have standard DC and DCC sound for 50% off. Mother Slug says, I've been out of the game for over 30 years. The hobby is a totally different kind of hobby nowadays. Yeah, when I was younger, you know, I had a couple locomotives and some cars I would run in the loop, and now the complete um, the I'm just trying to think of the word to say. Everything is so sophisticated now from when I remember it as a kid, where you turn the throttle and go. So I had to learn all this stuff to set it up. You know what? I think we'll do a contest. Let's move the via switcher down a little bit. Right there's probably good. I definitely agree. High cubes are one of my favorite rolling stock. Alright, so let me couple these two up. And I want you guys to let me know if the two of these go at the same time is too loud. I'll turn one of them off. Alright, so we want to set up contest. Just give me 2 seconds to set up the contest here. Boxcar Willie. Well, my name is Will. Trivia question. What's the most famous, well-known boxcar in the United States? I have no idea. Probably, I don't know. Maybe a standard 50-footer? Oh. Hang on. Our rail boxcar is the most known boxcar in the United States. Isn't that the don't they lease them out? Two cell phones for a live? Uh-oh. Almost had a disaster there. Alright, we gotta back out of here. It's because I wasn't paying attention. Alright, so we're gonna go on to the secondary track there. We'll uncouple, take the runaround, and grab them from the other side and push them into Pratt. Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad, Harold. I have my phone as the camera, and then I have it pulled up on my computer so I can see the live chat. So don't feel bad. Alright, let me get the camera in view. Yeah, the layout is actually right above my, hang on, I just want to make sure I'm not going to run these off the layout here. Of course I had SP. How could you have Union Pacific and not SP? I was going to convert this. This was a, what was that? I can't remember what it was. But I painted it, and I was going to convert it to Southern Pacific, and I never finished it. I think I talk about it all the time. What got me into the hobby was this gentleman called the Pixel Depot. He did this video on his little switching layout called the why am I drawing a blank now? It's been a long week. But anyway, he started this video series on a small switching layout. And he's like, I'm going to show you how to make a small layout in less than 8 feet. So watching that really said, you know what? Even though I don't have the room, I can do it. What I found funny about SP is I watched a documentary on when they tried to merge with hang on. I don't know, I'm having it's been a really long week. But anyway, I watched this documentary. Yes, Santa Fe. Thank you. Yes, sorry. It's been a long week. I've been pulling 12-hour shifts, and it's just been beating me down. But anyway, they tried to merge with Santa Fe, and they painted their locomotives before the merger. And so the saying was, shouldn't paint so fast. Because it was going to be SPSF. All right, let's go ahead. We got these coupled up. Jesse G. I think you know this layout all too well. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Rio and UP. I know a lot of them tried to merge with each other and a lot failed. And then UP was like top dog at the time, and they kind of just gobbled everything up. All right. I think next what we can do. Curious if you know what company saved all the railroading in the United States. Now, my history on like back then railroading is very vague. I do watch documentaries, so I'm always learning something new. Um, no, you are you're right, Pete. They became top dog. I think they kind of had to merge with UP just to stay alive. And then I think UP is still the largest. That is pretty interesting, Pennsylvania. I wouldn't even have thought that they were big enough to do that. All right, I think what we'll do next is we'll set up the propane terminal. That is another thing I have to work on, is getting some more LPG tank cars. All right, we're gonna need a buffer car. That is pretty interesting. All right, so we're gonna set up. We'll probably do the back platform. I got platforms 1 and 2, so we'll station this at platform 2. If there's one thing I want to change on the layout, it's probably this switch right here, this curve switch. I would definitely want to switch that out for something larger. Pennsy owned more trackage and locomotives than any other railroad. All that money went to their heads, and that's why a lot of people believe it is why they went bankrupt. Yeah, money is, if you have enough, you're fine, but if you have too much, it goes straight to your head. It's like, I'm big into gaming, and a lot of these gaming companies, they want more and they want more, and the games that they're making are, they're not good anymore. But they want you to spend, like $1,000 a year on microtransactions when they give you, a crappy game. Yeah, the layout is right above my my Xbox here. I got the Xbox and then the TV I'm watching for chat. I have a gaming PC, but I bought it in 2019, and it, right when the new consoles came out, so it kind of immediately went obsolete. Right now, I'm into Fallout 76. Skull and Bones, the pirate game. Um, and I started playing Off the Grid. It's kind of like a more realistic Fortnite. All right. All right. So with as small as the layout is, it took exactly an hour to set up all the industries here. All right. So what would you guys like to see next? Do you want me to switch out an industry? Do you want to see some different locomotives? What would you like to see? What are the industries I have? All right, so good question. Let's go over them. Right here we have Frontier Logistics. This holds a different number of industries. These two are specifically for cold transfer. These two are for miscellaneous goods. This is another for miscellaneous goods. We have propane terminal. We have the scrapyard. We have Pratt Industries in the back. And the lumberyard in the front. Yeah. Yeah, so these two reefers here, these are dedicated. So realistically, this building would be split up into different sections. And then these two bays operate one industry. And that would be cold transfer. So cold products would come off. It would be set to a desired temperature inside and then transferred off to local grocery stores, liquor stores, stuff like that. I know most of you like it when I bring out the steam engine. So we could switch out an industry with a steam engine if you want. You want to see the SD40s? Do you want a single or do you want a consist? Alright, let me set up a consist. Just give me a few minutes so I can put these up on the shelves. Now, I've always been a fan of SDs, and it wasn't until recently that I found out I could run them on the layout because I thought the turn radiuses might be too tight, but they handle the layout pretty well. All right, let me go ahead and fire it up. Northlander, yes, that is a via switcher. That is super unfortunate. All right, so let's. Why don't we switch out Frontier Logistics? Let me pick out some cars here. I would definitely like to get more Rio Grande stuff. You have it on Zoom and phone 1. When August? When did you buy it? All right, I gotta be careful with. Oh no, I don't. Forgot I changed the whole layout, or this whole side. Hang on. Alright, where's my... Hang on 1 second. Some of these cars to get on the layout are just such a pain. Alright. Alright, that nightmare is over. The day I put KD couplers on all these cars will be a very good day. Well, so the Via Switcher and the Rio Grande, I bought them because I got them 50% off. Hang on, I just want to look at all these chats real quick. Early March. If I had a continuous loop, I would definitely like to run some passenger cars, but Harold said this entire setup was great. Thank you. Mother Slug. Best reefers, in my opinion, were the late 80s Florida Tropicana. A lot of people, I have a friend of mine who I weather some cars for, and for like a week straight, he tried finding some Tropicana reefers, modern reefers, and they're just sold out everywhere. They're so hard to find. And so what he did is I actually ended up with the reefers, and it's these ones here. These are Atlas Masters. And what we were going to do is I found the Tropicana water slide decals, and we were just going to get rid of this and this and renumber and re-letter everything for Tropicana. But he ended up going in a different direction and offered these up as payment for weathering the other cars, and who could say no to more cars? Oops, wrong way. So this locomotive right here, I went over it in the last live. This is actually an Athearn Blue Box, and there's almost no difference between the modern ready to run, except for a minor details, like they touched up some of the intricate detail. But other than that, they're basically the same. Now, Harold, is that for the real railroads or just for? A bit of both. It's pretty interesting. So this cut of cars right here, just to switch out Frontier Logistics, takes up the entire run. Oh, and I finally did paint some of these utility poles. Uh-oh. Excuse me. All right. Thank you. They really turned out really nice. I think next after we get this switched out, I think we do a little bit of steam. What do you guys think? I have a 282 Heavy Mikado. I think it's an E4A. Thank you, Harold. No, it's actually it's a little bit longer than an SD40. So Harold, these trees, these four right here, these are all scratch built, and then the rest I bought at Hobby Lobby. I basically learned a lot of what I'm doing now from Boomer Dioramas. Alright, we're going to get these out of the way. Honestly, if it wasn't for Boomer showing how to scratch build and showing technique and this and that, I don't know if I would have done half the stuff I've done. To be completely honest. And then once you understand how to do it, it's really just practice. You just practice it over and over and over again. Like the trees I have there, I've probably made 20 other trees that I didn't like. Ron's Trains and Things has a lot of good stuff too. A lot of them have good stuff. John Rizzo says hello. What's going on, buddy? Welcome. I like him too. He has what is that weekly thing he does? It's like on the tip of my tongue. But he does a weekly video with him and some other. Yes, what's neat? Thank you. I watched the his I've never seen his layout actually. I've only ever seen like the straight run that he has when he has all the cameras set up, but I've never seen a full tour of his layout. John, I know what you're feeling. This layout is basically on a corner pocket, 8 by 8. It's not a big layout at all. I'm still working on the lighting. And then I have the addition of 5 extra feet down this way for the staging yard. No, I really don't want a monster layout because, I kind of made a joke one time, if I won the lottery, I'd have a big layout with big problems. They most certainly do. Oops. I did not want to. So the only time the coupling actually works is when I don't want it to. Beautiful. I know we all want a big layout, but realistically, it's in my mind, it'd be nothing but a headache. N scale is definitely the way to go if you're like real tight on space. You could basically double the switching options in the same footprint that I have in HO. So, I mean, if you have an 8 foot wall, you could do an 8 foot section with a small staging area off to the side. Yeah, see, I'm too impatient. I can't be working on the same area for 2 years. I built this in months. It also helps that I have a wife that understands that I'm super passionate about this. New England Industrial, yeah. I'm kind of somewhat friends with him. We chat through email sometimes. NS Modeler has a really good layout. I like when he really goes like all in on his switching videos. I think he also does like the rain effects. And yes, thank you. Due to the amount of buildings and all the ideas and add-ons, I need to expand my layout coming up. Going into this, I knew that there was not kits made for me. So I kind of had to scratch build everything. And plus, you know, when you're on a budget, like I do everything on a budget. Scratch building is really the way to go because, you know, 2 feet, what is it? 2 feet by 12 inches. So a small panel of 40 thou styrene is $8. For $16, I can build a 4-foot warehouse. And for $25, I can do all the detail. So I really think about my purchases. You know. The comedian of trains is Freddie Model Railroader. Is that a channel? I'll have to check it out. All right, give me a second while I set up the locomotive here. Static grass is a game changer for sure. Yes, 100% agree. I do all static grass on the layout here. And, you know, I'll tell you what, this product right here, this was the best $60 I ever spent. And I can run it on a 9-volt battery, and it, you know, I don't have 1,000 wires that I gotta try not to get in the way. All right, so let's August. So I forget who said it, but one of you guys said, "Is it too big?" The steam engine. So for comparison, here's the SD40. It's a smidge longer than the SD40. And for comparison, I just had a consist of two SD40s. A pepper grinder. Alright, so I think what we'll do is we'll switch out the lumberyard with this one. Because I think last time we switched Pratt Industries with it. And for anyone who's curious, I put ESU Loc Sound in this locomotive. It originally came with old Broadway Limited QSI DCC. No, I don't want that there. For your platform coverings? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about like the skirting? All right. Let's get this locomotive moving. And guys, let me know if this locomotive's too loud. Well, I also put a 28 millimeter speaker in here from Wow Sound, TCS Wow Sound. So it's got the Loc Sound ESU, and then the Wow Sound speaker. Alright, that's probably enough bell. Yeah, I don't know how it sounds through the camera, but it probably doesn't do it justice. But if you put your hand on the layout, you can actually feel the layout vibrating. Oops, hang on. A 130 cars in N scale. I think you are more than equipped to start an N scale layout. Well, once I finish this layout, I want to build a portable N scale switching layout. Yeah, I don't even think I have 30 cars. I think probably my next steam engine is going to be a small switcher. And then, because I like the sound this has, I'm definitely going to go again with ESU. They're normally my go-to for DCC sound. Hello, Scott. Thank you for joining. Scott has a really good layout too. Fred is for rear end device. Yeah, I've been following Scott for a while. He had one layout and then he started over, and now he's got something really good going. Spent the day tidying the layout room and building shelves. There's always something to do. Oh yeah, it's never ending. You know how many shelves I want to put up in here, and there's just no room? Honestly, I think coming up with the locomotive storage and then tying it into the above lighting was probably the best idea. Scott, I'm in New Jersey. I think I'm friends with you on Facebook too. Yeah, no, I had to make locomotive and rolling stock storage because I had everything on a shelf, on like a regular shelf, and my biggest fear was knocking into things, breaking, details. So I I think I had a piece of this just laying around, and I was like, let me see if it's wide enough for rolling stock. And sure enough, it was. So I just, I went for it. I try my best to keep it tidy. Be back. Tell me if you hear someone knocking at your door. Yeah, I have a bunch of small storage. Um, you know, I'd show you, but the whole reason that I have this skirt is because my workbench is a hot mess right now. And, I can just put this down and it all goes away. Your chat seems to work against me. What's going on? Yeah, when it comes to storage, I try to keep things tidy, but for some reason, it's just almost impossible. Uh-oh. Oh. All right, there we go. All right, no, one of the wheels on the tender jumped. All right, we're back. That's why if you remember me saying before, this curved turnout, I want to switch that thing out so bad because it's too tight. All right there will do. Well, all the regular switches on the layout are Pico number 4 or small radius switches. That curve switch out that I'm specifically talking about is a Pico small radius curve, and it's just not working out the way that I wanted it to. So I'm probably going to switch it out for a Walters. Because here's what I have over here. So let's go to this side of the layout. So this curve switch is the problem here. But if we go down this way, I have this large radius Walters turnout. And I think it's 20 inside and 24 outside. So I want to switch to something like that. My only fear is that I don't know if I'll be able to line them up. So I'm either just going to have to suck it up and stick with it, or try to figure it out. Yeah, the platform that the boxcars are at right now, I got the idea from SoCal Scale Models, is that, you know, the best industry to have is an industry you don't have to build. So what you see is just one section of lumber yard, and realistically, the big warehouses would be off layout. So the dock here would be right up against the warehouse. Same with the parking lot. The parking lot would go on much further. All right, so right there is looking good. I'm thinking about doing a Fremo, so they want Atlas Code 83, so it looks like I'm going with that when I start HO. Not sure yet. Yeah, I think Fremo is a cool idea, but you know, from what I understand, they only meet a few times a year, and you know, if you don't have a layout, you basically just have a diorama that's sitting in your house for most of the time that you can't really do anything with. Which, not saying it's a bad idea for those who want to do it. I just can't have a small section that I can't run trains on. I gotta be able to run trains. Well, I'd loop it with non-Fremo modules. Yeah. Yeah, so Scott, I'm on my third layout right now. The layout before this had Atlas switches, and they are terrible. Sometimes the points lose connection. So on this layout, I made it a rule. I'm not going to build it unless I go full Pico or Walters or a more reliable switch that I won't have any issues with. And one thing Atlas doesn't have that the other companies do is a snapping feature. So Like you can throw the turnout and it's not going to move until you move it. Oh, it's definitely worth the investment. But I totally get it. When when I bought my switches, um I would buy them in bundles and then I would PayPal paying for them. Because if you don't go through like a paying for program, you're basically paying like 100 and something for a couple of switches at a time. Yeah, this layout is all code 100 besides the Walters turnout, which is code 83. And I had to use a specific type of rail joiner to get them to line up. Yeah, I'm really happy with how well the controls are on this locomotive. Especially since this is an older Broadway Limited, like much older. But yeah, you can see it right there when the tender goes around that curve. It derails. That's the only issue I have. It's just because the radius is too tight. Take out another room. I would like a 2-car garage to build in. I eventually, um, you know, if I ever have the situation where we get a bigger house, I definitely want to have my own dedicated room for the model railroading. Which the wife has already graciously agreed upon that I am more than welcome to take a room for the model railroading. All right. So, what do we want to run next? I think we're gonna run the GP39. So, this locomotive is actually the first DCC locomotive I bought. And this model is an Atlas. I think it's an Atlas Gold. And then this is actually the first locomotive I bought when I dove into model railroading. This is a Walters train line, very affordable. Got it from Amazon for like $60. And these days it's a dummy locomotive because I gutted it. Yeah, it's a GP15. They are definitely great value. Especially if you keep an eye on Amazon, they're always going on sale. Harold, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm thinking that Sundays at 9 are going to be live stream days. So if you want to come hang out again next Sunday, please. Actually, the GP15, the train line that I had, that thing was, you know, you could hear mice talking over that thing. It was never loud, even out of the box. I think it just comes down to some locomotives are just noisier than others. All right, so what should we do next? Why don't we switch out the scrapyard? It was a joke, August. Yeah, no, we have no. Yeah, we don't have any mice here. All right. Hang on. Let me I'm gonna turn this up just a smidge. Nope, that was down. There we go, just a little bit louder. Train riders? What do you mean by that? Turn it up until my ears bleed. Oh, if I put the steam back out and I crank that up to full volume, your ears would bleed. Trust me. Oh, they just jump on at a random stop and ride it until it stops. Um, I mean, probably back in the day, it was like an okay thing, but you know, it's highly frowned upon nowadays. Um, yeah, I took the wrong switch there. Let's back it up a little bit. I mean, I have watched videos of jumpers getting on and then this just beautiful journey that they capture on video. Especially when they put it on like, 4x speed or whatever they do. I like those videos. But then again, you're kind of risking arrest. I know some railroads will arrest you if you ride the train. Jumping on a freight car, I mean. This is my home layout. Everything on this layout besides three things is all scratch built. And the vehicles. Stay low and be quiet. Yeah. Yeah. Signal lights? No. What I do have, let me make sure they're plugged in real quick. I have these. Hang on. Let me not shake the camera violently. I have these, and what these are for is, say I throw the lumber yard. Well, then I switch that on, so this red light tells me that the lumber yard is lined up. And then when I'm done with the lumber yard, I can turn it off, throw the switch back, and now I'm free and clear. I gotta finish the entire setup, but I did it mainly because I'm constantly forgetting that I have a switch thrown and I go somewhere I didn't want to go. All right, so I think we're gonna finish off switching this here, and then call it for tonight. We've had a pretty good run. We're sitting at about 2 hours and 15 minutes now. Yes, I'm getting sleepy, and I gotta go make money tomorrow. You must be on the East Coast if it's 11. I'm in New Jersey. Thank you, August. Pittsburgh, yeah, you're pretty close to you're still on the East Coast. Yeah, it's 11:19. I was born in New Jersey and I haven't strayed far. I did see, I think, who was it? Athearn? They just put out new GP15s not too long ago. I want to see about maybe getting one. They had some really cool color schemes for them. And then my ultimate goal, maybe by the end of the year, or early next year, is to get a GP40 wide cab. Yeah, I've been around traveling, but I've always lived in New Jersey. Yeah, the GP40-2Ws. There's one in CN colors that I really like. I think I think Atlas put it out. Yeah, the wide cabs are really cool. Um, I think who else is it has them? I think BNSF has them. I watch who is it? Pasadena Subdivision on YouTube in LA some I can't remember but they both film in in Los Angeles and that area for Union Pacific. And sometimes BNSF comes in with the GP40 wides. Not it wasn't Amazon for the half price. It was yankeedabbler.com and Lombard Hobbies has so Yankee Dabbler still has a couple of these 50% off for DC Standard and DCC Sound. And then Lombard Hobbies has these in DC Standard and DCC Sound for 50% off. So retail price, they go for about $325. So I basically bought two of them for the price of one. They are SW1000s. I think the DD840X is, it's like two GP40s glued together. Yeah, I don't think I would. It'd be cool to run one, but they almost kind of look pretty silly to me. Although it would be nice to have one for the collection. But all right, guys, it's getting late. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I really appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. I'm probably gonna have a regular switching video up some point this week. And then next Sunday at 9 p.m. we're gonna go live again. So if you guys want to come back and hang out. Thank you, Scott, for hanging out with us. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes so everyone can say their goodnights. Yeah, I can't believe how fast 2 hours just went by. But, all right, guys, have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video.